This is the Louie T Network.
The Redskins Report.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sistren. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. I'm on the couch, and anytime I'm on the couch, we've got some things to discuss. But it feels good to be home nonetheless. Feels good to be home, baby. Feels good to be home. But it's under some awkward circumstances, though, fellas and ladies. It's under some real difficult circumstances. And, you know, always feels good to be home. But, and nobody died. Nobody passed away. Nothing like that. But it's something that you've been running away from for a while. Really trying to avoid, and now you've gotten to the point where you just got to address it. There's no more dancing, no more running around the issue. Got to face it head on. And so, of course, you know I'm talking about the Redskins name change. I've dealt with this already. And to be honest with you, my sole purpose for coming on this program today was to redirect you to a video that I had done a long time ago. A video that I had actually done during the season last year, week 10. The exact date was actually November the 9th, 2013. And a lot of things were happening at the time. Bob Costas had ran his mouth on Sunday Night Football. President Barack Obama had dropped a little nugget on us, and everybody was dogpiling on us at the time. And I just felt the need to say what I needed to say, get it off my chest. And I wasn't going to address this again because, honestly, I'm tired. You know, as a Redskins fan, at some point you just become mentally fatigued at this issue. But nonetheless, I was inspired. And it's not often that I'm inspired when I watch videos on YouTube. I normally just watch and go, oh, okay, that was nice. And I keep it moving. But I was actually inspired by a couple of Redskin vid makers. And one of them, near and dear to this program, of course, you know him affectionately as BurgundyFlyGuy, aka BFG, a dear friend of this program. I speak highly of him all the time, and he puts out great content on his channel. And he recently did a series chronicling the Redskin name change, and he actually brought another guy in that is a fellow Redskin vid maker. And so it's all family love. And Sykopath BnG was his guest, and he's doing his own thing on this Redskins name change as well. And both of those guys together, they came together on a program that BFG recently aired, and it was magnificent. And it was very, very educational and informative. And I was just blown away. And it was because of that program and some other things that I had seen over the last month or so that really spurred me to say, you know what? Enough is enough. And so while I was just coming to redirect you and continuing to be objective about this whole situation, no, I'm not being objective today. That's not what I'm here to do. Today, I'm here to show you what I feel at my true core as a Redskins fan. Is it politically correct? No, and I don't care. So today, I'm not looking to be the nice guy. I'm looking to be the bad guy. Say hello to the bad guy. And so they say the bad guy wears the black hat. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and change hats. So it's time to put on the black hat because there's a lot of things that need to be said. And they're going to be said today. And I got some stuff to get off my chest. Hey, look, it's a lot of dirty dishes in the sink right now. And I don't plan on doing them. So I'm going to explain to you why I'm here and how I feel about this topic, all the things that have transpired over the last couple of weeks, months, and just put this to rest one final time because, again, as a Redskin fan, I am tired. I'm tired of this. I really am. but it's not going away. And generally speaking, I don't pick fights. I don't start fights. I do not get into fights that I can't win. I don't get into battles that I don't see myself having a chance in. And this is one of those battles that I didn't feel like I had a chance, so I wasn't going to go into it and go knee deep into a situation that I felt like I couldn't come out as a winner. Because I'm a winner. That's all I know how to do. All I do is win. So when you tell me, no, you're not going to win, then I don't want to play. I don't want to play. So this is a situation that as a Redskins fan, you can't win. And I know I'm not going to win this situation, but at this point, I don't care. Because this situation is bigger than me just winning or us as Redskins fans winning. It's us standing up for what we believe in. And for a lot of people out there, they're not going to agree with me. And honestly, I don't care. I don't care. But here's how I feel, and here's why. First things first, you can't win when the moral police is involved. When the moral police gets involved, you know what happens, generally speaking? When they put their crosshairs on you and you're on the bulletin board and they got an APB out on you, guess what? You go directly to jail. They take your ass straight to jail. You don't collect $200 and you don't pass go. And that's the situation that we're in. The moral police has attacked us and we can't get away. And so normally I don't jump into situations when the moral police is involved because you can't win. But this is a different situation with a different set of circumstances. And I've gotten to the point now where I realize this isn't what I thought it was. And speaking of which, let me talk to non-Redskin fans for a second, because I know you're watching too. And I'm here to tell you that this isn't what you think it is. Everybody's out there, oh, you should change the name, and you guys are racist, and Daniel Snyder will make X amount of dollars for changing the name. No. That's not the way this is supposed to go down. And you think it's one way, but it's really not. And there's two things that I don't allow the media to do to me. I can't speak for anybody else. There's two things I won't allow the media to do to me. One is tell me how to think, and the other is tell me how to feel. Now, right now, with this situation, the media is trying to tell you how to do both. They want you to feel a certain way about the Redskins name, and they want you to think about the Redskins name a totally different way than you did, say, 4 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago. If you, as a non-Redskin fan, had a problem with the Redskin moniker 8 years ago, 6 years ago, even 4 years ago, if you had a problem with it then I don't have a problem with you. I'll listen to your gripes. But if you, as of the last 2 years, started looking at the Redskins name totally different and are now totally ashamed of the name and have a problem with it when you were once indifferent about the name, then I got a problem with you. If you got a problem with the name now in the last 2 years, then I got a problem with you. And for those people that just recently started having a problem with this name, I tell you, zip it up. I don't want to hear your mouth. Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear nothing from you. If you're not a Redskin fan, then you are not a part of this. This doesn't concern you. Now, I will say this much. If you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan or a Chicago Blackhawks fan or any fan of any team with any kind of Native American undertones whatsoever, then you need to jump on this bandwagon, and you need to jump on it quickly, because this is a crusade. This is a smear campaign. This is a propaganda-laced tirade by a few individuals with a lot of resources that want to enrich themselves with money, power, and respect. They want to say, hey, look at me, look at what I just did. Okay? This isn't about, see, this is where I was wrong. And I was naive. I thought this was about the Redskins. I didn't think this was about anybody else. I thought this was about the term Redskins being offensive to Native Americans. That's what I thought this was about. Silly me. I thought this was actually about the Redskins name being offensive to Native Americans. That's what I thought this was all about. That's what I thought this was about. You know, and I said, you know what? And me being a very objective person, me being an understanding person, I said, you know what? If this name offends Native Americans, then by golly, we need to change it. That's what I said. And then you know what I actually did? I sat back, I saw all these things happening around me, and I said, these bastards lied to me. They lied to my face. This isn't about the Redskins name. This is about something totally different. Because if it was just about the Redskins name and about the hardships that their ancestors faced with this name and this moniker and all the things that they had to go through over the years, over the decades, over the centuries, if this was about this name causing pain and harm to their ancestors and to people now, then I would have said, you know what? Do what needs to be done here. Do whatever you feel needs to be done. I can't tell you as a Native American how to feel because I'm not one. However, when I see how this is unfolding and how they're going after other Native American names and and how Amanda Blackhorse is saying, hey, Kansas City Chiefs, you need to go ahead and change your name now because you're next. Really? The Chiefs? When I read that article, I was blown away. I was just in awe of how ignorant some people can be. And I think that situation there, and coupled with what I watched BFG and Sykopath BnG put together, I just said, you know what? Enough's enough. Enough's enough. I see where this is going. I see what these guys are doing. And it's unfortunate that we've gotten to this point because it makes no sense. So you fool me once, shame on me. Shame on me. Fool me twice, and that's when I go to the kitchen and start sharpening my mental knife. Go into my brain, and I go and I get my mental knife and I start sharpening it up. Because you just got me, but you won't get me again. Now I'm on guard. And so this situation, to all you non-Redskin fans, let me just say, it's not what you think.
Now, tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad.
I look at it differently now. I look at this whole situation differently now than I did before. And you know, I've got somewhat of a law background. Again, I'm no lawyer or anything like that. Didn't go to law school. Had plans on going, started studying for it, and I found my passion. And so one day, eventually, I'll go back. But as of right now, it's not in the plans right now. But I do have small law background, and what that law background has allowed me to do is look at this situation differently now. I look at it as this Redskins name is on trial. It's on trial. And we all are defendants. As Redskins fans, we're all defendants. And we're co-defendants in this thing. And the star witnesses for the plaintiff, Ray Halbritter, Amanda Blackhorse, they're on the defense really now. And it was crazy because Harry Reid as well. It was funny because when this whole thing first started kind of bubbling at the surface again, because this thing's been going on for a really long time, I saw all these different YouTube videos of people attacking Amanda Blackhorse or Ray Halbritter or Harry Reid, Senator Harry Reid, and I said, what are these people doing? You know, and this is when I was still being objective. This is when I didn't know better. This is when I was being naive and I thought that this was about the Redskins name. I said, what are these people doing? Why are they attacking these people? This is so unnecessary. This isn't going to change the issue at hand. That's the way I looked at it. I'm like, this isn't about these people. This is about this term and how it affects these Native Americans negatively. This is what it's about. And no, I realized over the course of time, the reason why these individuals were attacking Harry Reid, Senator Harry Reid, Amanda Blackhorse, Ray Halbritter. The reason why everyone was going so in depth and digging up all this dirt on them is because they are the star witnesses for the plaintiff. Without their testimony, without them being the torch carriers for this whole situation, I don't think this situation is where it is right now, to be honest with you. But because they come out and they want to slander the name and throw dirt on us, this is where the situation has went and what it's come to. And so I look at it as us as defendants and co-defendants in this issue. It's our duty to shed light on the truth. And I'm not going to do that. I think that BurgundyFlyGuy and Sykopath BnG have done a wonderful job of doing that. So if you're looking for that, then you need to go to them for that. I think they do it in such a way that really changes your whole perspective on this. If you haven't already taken a look at what they're doing, please do. Whether it's Sports Arena or it's on the BurgundyFlyGuy channel, you need to check that stuff out if you haven't done so already. But nonetheless, the reason why everyone's doing what they're doing in terms of digging up all this dirt on Harry Reid and Amanda Blackhorse and Ray Halbritter is because they're discrediting the witness, okay? They're making them an unreliable source. And that's what you do in a case. You take this witness, and what we're doing is we're cross-examining them right now. They're on the stand, and they've had their turn to talk. Prosecution has already asked them a whole bunch of questions and gave them layups, and they've went out and they've been on the crusade and they've been saying this and saying that, having commercials and doing this and doing that. And now it's our turn to cross-examine them. And in this cross-examination, what you'll find is that they're some of the most disingenuous, some of the most dishonest people with hidden agendas and ulterior motives that you'll find. And it's unfortunate that they're using their own people as pawns in their little game. And that's the thing that hurt me the most, was the fact that I just thought this was about the Redskins' name. I thought that we were doing a disservice to a group of people that have already endured their own hardships in this nation. I thought we were doing a disservice to people that already have seen enough hardship in their lives in this country. That's what I thought. But it's not even about that. It's about money. It's about power. It's about respect. It's about a few individuals with a lot of resources wanting the attention and the limelight and wanting to say, look at what I just did. Look at what I just did for my people. When you ask a lot of these Native Americans, a lot of them could care less about this name. They're indifferent. In the other half, you got some that care about this issue. You got some that could give a damn about this issue. And then you got those that don't know what the hell to think. They don't know what the hell they want to do. I've been watching so many different programs, and I'm like, these Native Americans are so confused, it's not even funny. And so, if you don't know how to feel about this, how am I supposed to know how to feel about this? Staggering. It's mind-boggling. It's crazy to me. But as a Redskins fan, let me tell you what us losing this name and losing our logo would do to us as Redskins fans, because a lot of you don't understand this. When you take away those things from us, you take away our identity as fans. You know, and it's funny because you look around at other teams that have moved around. Hell, the Arizona Cardinals, they went from St. Louis to Phoenix to Arizona, and nobody gave a damn. But you can rest assured that one thing never changed. They were always the Cardinals. You could always identify with them. What about the Colts? Hell, they packed up in one night and moved from Baltimore to Indianapolis. But guess what? they were still the Colts. There was still a legacy intact. You could still identify with that franchise. You could still look up and say, hey, we've got Johnny Unitas, Raymond Berry. We still got our legacy intact because we're still the Colts. That horseshoe still remains on the helmet. You take this away from us, and we're no longer the Redskins. Doug Williams slinging the football around in Super Bowl 22, gone. Riggo plowing through that line on 4th and 1 against the Dolphins in Super Bowl 17, gone. Mark Ripken slicing up the Bills in Super Bowl 26, gone. We can't identify with that any longer because you would be taking that away from us. We wouldn't be a 3-time Super Bowl winning championship club any longer. We would be something else. Whatever we would be called at that point. And if you've never been in that situation as a fan, then you can't relate to this. So again, stay out. Because you don't know what this feels like. And it's so unfortunate for us as fans. I think out of everyone, we get the rawest deal out of this situation. Because when it's all said and done, we can't win. Say our team in week 15 of the 2014 season is 3-10 again. Nobody cares about what the Redskins are doing on the field because obviously we stink. We suck. But guess what they'll still be talking about? They'll still be talking about this goddamn name change. Right? But say that we're 10-3 going into week 15. Top of our division, one of the best teams in the NFC. What will people be talking about? They should be talking about the 10-3 Washington Redskins with the resurgence of Robert Griffin III, this being one of the better teams in the league, really looking like they're going to be able to do some damage in the NFC come playoff time. That's what we should be talking about. But will we be talking about that? Hell no. You know we won't be talking about that. They'll be talking about the damn name change. Can you imagine if we make it to the Super Bowl? What a spectacle that would be. Can you imagine us having any type of success this year and them talking about what's actually going on the field? Hell no, they're not talking about us on the field. No matter what we do this year. Win, lose, draw, they don't care. It's going to be about the name. And as fans, that's sickening. That's disgusting is what it is. Because we losing all of this. We don't get to celebrate our team the way everybody else does. And for you out there to say, well, then just change the name, that's not the point. You're missing the damn point. You're missing the goddamn point. You don't just do things just to do it because somebody else tells you to do it. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for any damn thing. And this situation with all of these characters involved, and all of them shady. All of them are shady characters with ulterior motives, hidden agendas. They're trying to wipe everything out across the board. And just like Sykopath BnG said, this is Pandora's box. And when you open it, it's a box inside of a box, inside of a box, inside of a box. And once you open that big box, you cannot close that box. It starts with us. I'm talking to you, Kansas City. It starts with us. But then you're next. The Cleveland Indians are next. The Chicago Blackhawks are next. And again, what's wrong with those names? I don't understand. I thought this was about the Redskins' name being derogatory. I thought this was about the Redskins' name. Not the Kansas City Chiefs. Not the Chicago Blackhawks. Not the Cleveland Indians. I didn't think it was about them. What's wrong with the term Indians? What's wrong with the term Chiefs? I'm lost. Help me to understand that. See, this isn't just about the Redskins name. and how derogatory it is. Because if it was, then you'd just be coming after us and not everybody. See, this is propaganda 101. This is slander 101. This is them feeding you what they want you to believe and how they want you to think and how they want you to feel. And I'm not going for it. See, I thought this was about us and the name and it standing for something that was hurtful to them. But what I realized is it's not about that. It's about greed. It's about money. It's about power. It's about because I can. And you know what? Damn it. I can't sit back and allow that to go down without a fight. And look, at the end of the day, we're going to lose this battle because right now, as you all know, the United States Patent and Trademarks Office has taken away 6 of the Redskins' patents and trademarks. Now, the Redskins are appealing. And thank God our appeals process in this country is long and drawn out. So this thing is going to take 4 or 5 years minimum to be solved. But at the end of the day, the patents and trademarks that have been canceled, I don't think they're going to overturn it this time. Last time they overturned it on a technicality. The people that have brought this case in front of the courts have rectified that issue. And so I don't think they're going to overturn it on a technicality this time. I think this time they're actually going to uphold that ruling and decision, and they're going to take it away from us. And it's funny because at the root of this problem is money. And that's what's going to be our undoing in the long run. You know, it's a bunch of people running around with money because they can, with the resources because they can. And at the end of the day, it's going to be money that's going to force the Redskins to change their name. Because once those patents and trademarks are canceled for good, which I see coming in the near future, then the rest of the league, they're going to be forced to turn their backs on the Redskins. The other 30 owners in the revenue sharing are going to have no other choice but to turn their back on the Redskins because now you're not holding up your end of the bargain. I'm splitting revenue with you and you're not bringing anything to the party. And the other owners aren't going to sit for that. They're not going to stand for that, and it won't sit well with them. And then what will happen in turn is that Roger Goodell will say, okay, hey, we can't support this any longer. You're going to have to do something about this, Dan. And then Daniel Snyder, in turn, is going to have to go and change the name. Now, I've already come up with a solution for that. If you are looking for me to explain that, I'm not. I did that in part 1 of this program, so go and check that out. And I'll leave the link for you to go and check that video out. But I've explained that. And if you want an objective view from me, then watch part 1 of this series. But if you want to know how I really feel, then this is what you need to watch. But if you want my objective view, then watch part 1. Because that's not what this is. But I feel like the things that I said in week 10 of the regular season last year in November are just as pertinent now as they were when I said them. Some of the things have changed. Some of the circumstances surrounding the situation have been altered because we've progressed in the situation since then. But I think a lot of what I said then still applies now. And so I think that video is just as pertinent as this one is today. But what I'm basically doing is I'm urging Redskins fans everywhere. Look, we're in this together. We're a band of brothers. If your heart pumps burgundy and gold blood like mine does, then we're blood brothers. We're all in this together, and we need to band together. So what I'm urging you to do, and I don't ask much of the fan base, because either you're going to do it or you're not. So I don't ask much of anybody. I can't control anybody, and I don't try to. But what I am urging you to do as a Redskins fan is to stand up for this, if for nothing else. Stand up for this. This is all we got. Our Redskin name and logo, that's all we got. They take that from us, and we're left with nothing. Nothing. So all I'm asking you to do is stand up for this. And look, I already know we're fighting a losing battle here, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, we're fighting a losing battle. They're going to take our name from us, okay? Prepare yourself for that. But in the meantime, let's not go down without a fight. They formed the Redskins Pride Caucus, and it was funny. I listened to them talk about why they formed it, and they said, you know what? I wish we didn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to do this. But sometimes we have to remind people that this Redskins name is prideful, that it stands for something, that it means something, that it holds a legacy. And you got to remind people that because there's so many bad guys running around here telling you that it doesn't stand for anything but negativity. And so they had to go out and form a caucus of a whole bunch of different, and it's Democrats and Republicans coming together. You rarely see them come together on issues, but this one was one that was strong enough to unite them in different levels of the government to come together and put together a caucus to try to defend this name. It's ridiculous that they even had to do that. But that just goes to show you how deep this thing is. And so it's unfortunate, but that's where we are with this. So as Redskins fans, it's our duty. If Daniel Snyder is willing to fight this thing, if he's willing to fight, then we need to get in the trenches and stand on the front line with him and fight this thing. And yes, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. But at the end of the day, at least you can say, I didn't take this lying down. At first, I was willing to take this one sitting on my hands because I know the end result is going to be one that sees us change our name. And so I didn't want to get too invested in this. Again, I don't fight battles that I can't win. And so I didn't want to get too invested in this because I knew what the end result was going to be. So I said, hey, let your will be done. Whatever's going to happen, let it happen. I'm just going to continue to root on my team until it does. But now, because I see all of the circumstances surrounding this and all of the shady characters and the way that they conduct business and what they're trying to do here, this is bigger than the Redskins name. Much bigger. I thought that's what it was about, but I was wrong. That's not what it's about. And so, as a Redskins fan, you got to stand up for this. You got to stand up for this. So, in closing, I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. My Redskins spirit will never, ever fold. Till we meet again, hail to our beloved Redskins. That's just some food for thought for all of you out there. Now you wipe the table off and you do the dishes. And if you're a Redskins fan out there, I'm urging you to stand up and fight for this.
The Redskins Report.
Like the content? Want more? Sub up.